Hey everyone, Colgate here. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about an idea I had a while back, and I actually saw someone else make a video on this. I forgot the channel name. I subscribed to them, but I forgot the channel name at this moment. But they made a video as well about it, and that's about the legality of walled Omega stages. For example, let's see here. What's a good Omega wall stage? Let's say, Wii Fit Studio. That one's a pretty plain one. Now, normally, people just say, FD is the way to go, right? And that's fine, because I can see where you'd be saying, like, Omegas are just basically FD. But not a lot of Omegas, or rather there's only one walled stage, and that's Duck Hunt. So I don't really think that it's fair to say like we should ban all Omega stages. I think it might be a good idea to try walled stages or walled Omegas as a whole other counterpick. Like you get your FD as a main stage, but then as a counterpick you can pick Lilat, Duck Hunt, or a walled Omega stage. This would work out for a lot of different characters. It would make Mac a whole lot more viable because you'd actually have two stages, one regular stage and one he could counterpick to. That he would have those two options in his gameplay. And before you say having two of the same type of stage is wrong, what makes this FD versus walled Omega? What makes that different from Battlefield and Dreamland? Because that one favors people who like tri-platforms as well, like Zero Suit Samus, Martha Lucina, etc. And before you say something about the blast zones, because Dreamland blast zones are small, or smallish compared to Battlefield's huge blast zones, you should keep in mind that while that is technically correct, the same could be applied for the Omegas, because every Omega has a different wall. I do want to find out if there's a source that has all of the Omega's blast zones so I can see the walled ones. That would be pretty interesting. I mean, that would be a counterpick meta in its own, right? If they have walled Omega stages, and say Omega Wii Fit is pretty big-ish, while Omega Duck Hunt is not, then I don't know. I think that would incite its own little counterpick thing. But I don't think there would be that much of a difference, so it wouldn't really matter in the end. And you're still picking a walled Omega. It would also help characters that have wall jumps because they can actually recover from a much lower distance than normal. Whereas they can only do that in Duck Hunt. Not a lot of characters like Duck Hunt. Like a Little Mac benefits from this because they can actually recover low with their wall jump. However, a Little Mac wouldn't pick Duck Hunt because the opponent could just camp out on the tree. And to me it just makes sense. Unless they really are desperate for that recovery and they're playing like a Sheik or something. But even then the Sheik could just run away forever. It's just a little concern of mine. Like, we have all these stages, right? And we could be doing so much with them. But do we actually? It's funny how Sakurai made Omegas to be more, for the competitive scene or whatever, like, 1v1, final destination, Fox only or whatever, no items. But, we just sort of ignored them. And I realized that, having all the Omegas may not be viable, because of course you just have FD, and that's usually what people allow. Although in a lot of non-major tournaments that I've seen, they do allow Omegas. But I think Omegas, like the walled stages, and Omega the non-walled, they could just, or FD, They could just be their own two separate stages, kind of like, as I said before, Dreamland and Battlefield. It just makes sense to me. Now, there is also the argument, I believe I heard once, that they banned Omegas because of copyright issues or whatever on the stream. But I mean, if that's the case, just allow Duck Hunt Omega. You already use Duck Hunt music, right? So just allow the Duck Hunt Omega because it's a walled stage. It is 2D, so you could also use it to counterpick people that, you know, or you can use it like if you're Charizard to hit with your, I think it's his F tilt? Yeah, I think this is F tilt. Because Charizard's F tilt hits better on Omega. Or on 2D stages, rather. Which, coincidentally, are mostly Omega, unless... Well, I guess not. I guess you could have, like... Okay, out of the legal stages, it's mostly Omega. But, like, this stage, for example, you know, Wii Fit Studio, it's not that. And it would just make, as I said, more characters viable. Now... I don't think there's a downside to this. You know, we would have 8 stages, but we've already played with that kind of rule set before. You know, before Dreamland was available, and back when Delfino and Castle Siege were around, we had 7 stage lists. Or wait, I can't remember actually. My numbers are wrong. It's early in the morning. I'm tired. I'm making this because I have nothing to do while I'm waiting for Zero Saga to start. So for now, let's see here. Are there any more points I wanted to touch? Well, let's go with another, let's show you like another Omega stage. And we can show someone else who would benefit from Omegas. Which would be, I guess, Dr. Mario? Dr. Mario, would you? Dr. Mario. Actually, here's a fun part, or a fun thing to exploit in Omega stages, and that's the fact that Villager, and of course this may go into area of a little bit of bias, but Villager is one of the characters that could exploit Omega stages quite a lot, simply because of the fact that we have the luxury of having Bowling Ball. And as you know, Bowling Ball is probably one of the best edge guarding tools in the game that you could have without going off stage, because it just drops and does a absurd amount of damage. Like, it's not even funny. In fact, here's a fun little side note. Did you know that Villager's Bowling Ball does more damage if you hit it below the ledge than if you just hit it like on the ground? I don't know why they did that. I guess because of gravity. But that's why you'll like in the ground you can hit by it at like 50-ish and live, unless he has rage. But off stage, you're gonna be hit with a ton of damage. Like, you best be ready. I'm just saying, man, you best be ready. In fact, I think I killed a Sheik at 26 once. It was actually my friend, and he was not happy. But then again, who told you to go Sheik? She ever since the weight nerfs, she's been kind of struggling to, you know, live. That's just me. Oh, by the way, enabling Omegas would actually enable me to pick one of my favorite stages for the music, and that's this stage right here. I love the Mega Man soundtrack for Mega Man 2 because it's the only Mega Man game I've ever played out of the original series. I have played Mega Man X5 and Mega Man X6 and a couple other games like Battle Network and things like that, but out of the main series, this is the only one. Mega Man 2. and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I've heard that 3 is also good, like really good, but I haven't really gotten the chance or the time to buy it. And I also really want to play my Shantae game, but that got sidetracked real quick. But yeah, like I would be able to use this music. And again, you know, if they want to not use it for copyright issues, I understand. But so we could use Duck Hunt. But if, you know, copyright issues weren't worry, like, you know, for say a local or a regional or whatever, what, I don't know, or they don't think their stream is gonna get, you know, very many views, or if they don't even have a stream or whatever, I see no problem with this. Like, there's no reason not to have this. It's a nice, clear, fun stage with no hazards. It forces a type of play like FD, but it helps those that, you know, will automatically get FD banned. And look at this, walls are amazing. Oh, and I can finally start doing this on a daily basis, just like wall stall with Lloyd. I think you guys have seen the video that the couple of videos that I posted. If you haven't, then you should check it out. It's called Villager Wall Stall or something like that. I'm really proud of that one. Ow. Okay. Well, that's basically it. Like, that's just my opinion on it. Again, I recognize there are bad things about it, but I don't think it should be enough to detract from the fact that it would be a nice experience to get more information as to, you know, whether we should or not have walled Omega stages. In my personal opinion, they would do no harm. They would just be another, you know, additional counterpick stage that you could go to, because right now our counterpick stages, you know, we have Lilat and Duck Hunt there. No one likes them. If you had an Omega walled stage as a counterpick, you could say, okay, it's not a jank stage, we just have it there because it's the same as Final Destination. So you can go there, you know, as a counterpick. Like, if you lose, you get that option, like, oh, you know, let's go to FD or let's go to the walled Omega. But if you win, you can only hope your opponent doesn't go there. If it's like a Little Mac or, you know, Village or Duck Hunt, things like that. The people that have wall jumps would benefit a lot. But I don't know. I'm just, you know, some random player from some random country that barely plays Smash. Well, we do, but we're not as good as... Well, we aren't as active as we used to be in the first half of 2016. Well, hopefully that'll change with the Switch. Anyways, that's it for my rambling. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.